And hello! It's time for more Genshin Impact. Still don't know anything about those voice lines, so we're just doing another story quest. But first, let's go ahead and do a nice little 10 roll. Just because I had enough for it, but it looks like the best we get is 4. As per usual. Oh, Rosaria. Have not seen her in a very long time at all in this game. And I do have one of her already. I've had like 2 or 3 of her. Still, I don't ever see her in stories anymore. Or I never use her. I just never see her at all. Well, let's see if we can get any more wishes popping. We can get another intertwined food. Bet Stardust Exchange. We can do 1. And Primo Gem Purchase, we can do 1. Which leaves us 1 short. Being able to roll. Why did I not do this one? Because I forgot about it. That's the reason why. Dadgummit. Alright. Well, anyway. Let's get on to the quest like we were planning on doing. Story quest. And we're going to be going with Cloud Retainer. Gria Sarina. Chapter 1. Act 1. Let's go to the quest. Alright, Paimon has a sudden yearning for a quirky story told by Cloud Retainer. Go to Mount Iokang. I don't know if I'm saying that right. To see this adeptus, with whom you are quite familiar. Iokang? Iokang? Is that how you say Iokang? I wish I knew how to pronounce these things better. But I don't. Oh well, I'll survive. Alright, let's make our way down to meet Cloud Retainer without slipping off a mountain that I wasn't trying to stand on in the slightest. Whoa! Frames? Frames! Okay, it looks like we steadied. Oh, she's just standing there. Uh-oh. Are we gonna be okay?
Outside her place.
We were actually way above her place, to the point that if you spawn us in on the ground and acted like we fell, Traveler's dead. Let's hit the auto and let her roll.
You still remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything.
I kinda do.
When we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. Paimon thought she'd be impossible to get along with. But now that we've spent some more time together, she's really not like that at all.
Surprised you're saying this right outside of her home.
We don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Still,
she's talking to the woodland creatures.
Here somewhere, so if she really wants something, we can just use that. Huh?
You got snacks right now?
Traveler, did something catch your eye?
Wow, I don't think we've ever seen her before.
Whoa, what a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer?
Was I not supposed to have met her in this form before? And now that I'm doing the story, we're meeting her in this form for the first time, even though this is more like the 4th time? Whatever. Seems like she could also be a powerful adeptus. It's because she's Cloud Retainer.
Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady, really. She must have a whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the country. Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right? Want to go up to her and say hello?
We knew you were such a social butterfly, Paimon. I'll leave the introductions to you.
Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide. Paimon's got this.
All right, good luck. Embarrassing yourself.
Hello.
Why'd she not say nothing?
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Paimon? Just say everything in a nice, even tone.
Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. May we have the pleasure of learning your name, Madam Adeptus?
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has a shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Wait, you're...
Cloud Retainer? Yeah, I knew.
Huh? You're the illuminated bird?
I thought she was about to say Illuminati for a second.
Human? How did that happen?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
So, you're indulging now because?
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place!
Paimon.
In fact, Paimon can think of several examples, like that time when you suddenly appeared on top of a roof without any warning, or...
Paimon, relax. I almost forgot. Paimon brought you some gifts.
Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all. Most commendable.
Cloud Retainer tries but fails to look indifferent as Paimon begrudgingly somethings.
Well, this is all Paimon's got. You don't mind, right?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else. So long as you've shown proper respect and consideration, the quantity or quality of the gift is but a trivial matter.
Okay.
That kind
Words.
of
I heard them.
feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Anyway, where were we before you reminded Paimon about the gifts?
Cloud Retainer said that she was going to visit some of her disciples.
Ah, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe. It's also been a while since we last saw them. Maybe we
It's
can go
true.
too.
That is very
One
true,
planned
actually.
to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here. You have cause to seek one's company?
No reason in particular.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew we'd run into your human form while we were at it?
Is that so? If there are no
It's
urgent
so.
matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yuehai Pavilion, so that shall be our first stop.
Sounds great! Then let's all go to Liyue Harbor!
And Shenhua is working at a restaurant. 1,000 moonlit miles. Why they moonlit? Go ahead and just teleport right here. Oh, and yeah, because of farming, I got the Traveler as
Shenhe has
Electro.
also secured employment recently. In her correspondence with me, she wrote that she shall have no need to return for the foreseeable future.
You sound a little exasperated
They
about
think
that.
one was so easily mollified. One shall investigate everything with one's own eyes and decide for oneself if their living conditions are satisfactory.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Shall we get closer? Oh, and yeah, we didn't die. Let's come at this from an angle so we don't have to worry about the possibility of dying due to gravity. We cannot defy gravity. We're not Alphaba. That feels like an old reference now. We are so far away. It feels so weird that they're already triggering
Where was
this.
that Yuehai Pavilion? Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see Cloud Retainer like this?
She might actually be used to it.
Yeah, Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go?
She's back there. Why is she staying so far away?
There, Cloud Retainer!
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two
Why?
can go and meet with her.
You just want to see from a
Why?
distance?
Isn't it better if we all go together?
You feeling shy?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up for lost time. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice. Do remember to inquire as to her recent well-being. Again, do not mention one's presence here.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
Not to
Alright,
me.
then we'll just pass
She works
on
too
your
much already.
regards and-
Wait, is there a stop there
Collaborator?
because... Yep. She already saw. And she knows.
Oh, busted.
Yup.
Is that lady someone you know, Ms. Ganyu?
Yup.
She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit? I believe my schedule today is quite full. Although,
It's always quite
perhaps
full.
I could move some work to later in the evening.
Oh, not to worry, Ms. Ganyu. I'll make the necessary arrangements right away.
How
Thank
kind.
you, Huixin.
And how soft-spoken.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings.
It actually
What brings
has.
you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
You are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this cloud retainer of whom you speak. One is simply a mere mortal passerby.
Gig's already up. Why'd she trying so hard?
She's not buying it.
Why would she? Ganyu saw right through her.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
Ganyu looks like she's totally bewildered. She's thinking, why wouldn't I recognize you? I used to see you every day. How bad do you think my memory is? Next.
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
An apt observation. One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One thought it would only be fitting to pay you a visit while in the area.
she's way
Wait,
too
I
prideful.
wasn't aware of any important.
Nope.
Cloud Retainer's
Keep putting that
right.
foot in your mouth.
We've still got something super important to do, so we can't stay here for too long today.
Oh, is that so? But it's been so long since we last saw each other.
Aww.
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work.
Wow.
A quick
Cold.
conversation should suffice for today. A more involved reunion should wait until you find yourself less occupied.
I understand. That should be fine.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body.
And she is very
Still
excessive.
makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent. When you were young, you oft begged one to cuddle you to sleep when you suffered from nightmares.
Cloud
Aww.
Retainer, stop!
And now she's embarrassed.
If you insist. We are running short on time regardless, so one will refrain from going into each and every story. Why don't you continue your conversation? One shall simply stand by and listen.
You mean eavesdrop? You discussed some of your recent adventures with Ganyu.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever need anything, please just come find me at Yue High Pavilion.
Thanks, will do.
Also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful to adopt a human name?
A human name? Huh. You raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown, Cloud Retainer is surely too recognizable as a name.
You really?
That's exactly right.
Not that you're not famous or anything, but that famous?
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing to be possible.
But do people still know in this day and age would be the
Nevertheless,
question.
Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be sure to refer to one as Shenyun.
Tianyun?
Shenyun.
Ah, I assume that's a reference to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered. The writer referenced Master's name to describe her carefree and spontaneous nature.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
I mean, she's an Adeptus.
Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
I think Paimon did.
Not exactly.
That's totally what Paimon had in mind.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in ancient texts. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland today. The books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately, the clouds gathered together, and abundant rain burst forth from the heavens. Drought and plague were both driven away, and the people were saved.
That's incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did merely with one ought, and even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
But they didn't.
Even so, you
You did.
stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said?
Like Storm from the X-Men?
Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you.
Suddenly.
So it was Paimon's bad for calling you Illuminated Bird before. You're not too mad, are you?
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world. Why would one be offended by such a trivial matter?
This is possible.
In that case, Paimon will continue to call you whatever feels right in the moment.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? And what, pray tell, of her monthly remuneration? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she allowed time off during Lantern Rite?
Are you trying to overload Ganyu with
It's
questions?
a lot of questions.
Uh-huh.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently. So with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shangling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Shangling is kind and astute, while her father is loyal and reliable. One has no cause to believe that they will make Shenhe's work difficult.
Think that though.
Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon. One shall visit Wanmin Restaurant in person and see how Shenhe is doing.
Huh? But didn't you just say that you had something important to do?
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Ganyu. One shall see to this matter on one's own. There will be many an occasion to dine together in the future. One is certain the opportunity shall present itself most readily.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See you
Didn't want us to keep an eye on her.
Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you
Oh
think?
no.
As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Wait, for real?
Is all that noise lantern, right?
The moment is not yet upon us. Still, the truth will be revealed to you in time.
Huh. She really seems to be playing up the whole mysterious Adeptus thing right now. Is it because
really
we
good
just
wet shaver.
heard that cool story about her powers?
Maybe. So what do we gotta do to free up Shenhua? I hate when this freaking happens. View details. Springtime Charms, first stanza. Wait. Xiaoling, we need to free her up? Alright, what is she twisted up in? Where is it? I'm not seeing it. What is the problem? What story is she twisted up in? She's twisted up in Lantern Right. Why do I have to go through Lantern Right just to be able to do this? No! There's no voice lines! Or else I would have done it already. You know what? Lantern Right ends in a day and 4 hours, so I'll just come back when Lantern Right is over. Because, yeah, would have done it, but no voice lines. Forget it. Yeah. Me personally, I'll be back in 2 days to record the next part, but yeah, you guys, it's just going to be a cut. All right. Some time has passed. There's been an update. So, yeah, they got rid of Lantern Right because it's done. And with the update, they also sent mail with some Primo gems, which I already swapped in for some fates. So maybe I should go ahead and do a roll here, trying to get Mizuki. I don't know anything about Mizuki. This is my first time seeing her. Is she from Natlan? Or is she from somewhere else? Maybe had something to do with Lantern Right, but I didn't take part in it because we don't have voice lines. I don't know. Let me go and do this roll. 5-star. I'm so happy I did this roll. And then we'll get right back into the story. Did I get Mizuki? Or did they give me someone else? Ah, the stringless. I see the string right there. I feel like I've made that dad joke before.
Hello, I am Yume Mizuki, a clinical psychologist. If something's troubling you, feel free to talk it out with me. I can banish even the darkest of nightmares from your mind without leaving a single trace. Oh,
She got
you
creepy.
don't believe me? Well then, if you have a moment to spare, why don't you stop by my office?
Wait, is she a succubus? I just noticed the tail, which isn't quite the same. But if she's talking about being in dreams, has the pointed ears and a tail, I would think succubus. I find it more weird, actually, that her name is Yume Mizuki. And you know what? Actually, based on that name, I don't think she's from Natlan. I would think she's from Inazuma. But that's neither here nor there right now, right? Let's just see what else we got. Anything else that's 4 or 5-star? I'd love to have gotten a second 5-star. We did not get a second 5-star. That's okay. I did a trial run with her before I started recording this. So I was rewatching the Super Bowl halftime show. Because I love Kendrick Lamar. And I don't care what anybody says. He did smash it. People say, oh, it was bad. No, it was great. And no, it was obviously he wasn't trying to do any of the hits. Or wasn't trying to just give you hit after hit. Because he started with a teaser song that he never actually released. And then did Peekaboo, Man in the Garden, and Euphoria, which are all not considered hit songs. Euphoria wasn't even on an album. So, yeah, no. It was great. If you are a hip hop fan and not a Drake fan that hates Kendrick because of the beef, there's no reason why you shouldn't love it. And for some reason, we're clicked off of... Wait, that's not it. We're clicked off of our quest. Probably because it's trying to put us on the other quest that is now gone because Lantern Rite is over. So let's get back to it. Wait, why is... Anecdote from Yunjin. We doing anecdotes now? What is this? Archon quest. Oh, that's just telling me that I can't do the main quest. You know what? I'm not trying to. Because I don't have voice lines for everybody. If I did, I would. Until I get voice lines, I'm not touching the main story. That's just how it's got to be. All right, so Shenhua's job, right?
You get what I'm saying, right?
What are you saying? When Liu. Oh, I gotta re-auto up.
Yeah, how can I not? Not
Auto
even
up.
fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, huh?
Oh, I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes. Hey, how about you ask her?
Cloud retainers are gonna be happy hearing all this.
No. I think you should. Wait, she's coming.
Wow.
What can I get for you
These
today?
guys just feel like
Greetings,
didn't sell
miss.
Simps.
I was just wondering if you'd be willing to...
Nope.
What would you like to order?
2 servings of Mora meat to go. Good chat. Bye.
Okay, so they're not masochists. Or else they'd be really into that attitude. Be like, she's perfect.
Welcome.
God.
It's been a while. May I take your order?
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line. It's weird.
It's been a while, Shenhua.
Mm-hmm.
And you see who's with us?
And this is?
She don't know.
This is Miss Xinyun.
Master?
Now she realizes. Didn't take long.
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before.
She can
How
tell.
were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
Aww. Isn't that endearing?
Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
She missed you.
Check out the great food, too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Probably talk after your shift. When's it end?
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Are you here for Shenhe? The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe, so I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down, and enjoy some
I'm
time
not
with
seeing
your
the
friends.
character that was
I'll let
blocking
you
us from
know
getting
if
to this
things
quest.
pick up.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Where's Xiangling? She was literally blocking us from going further, and I don't see her anywhere. The heck, man? Wait, where are we sitting? There's a back section? How did I not know this? I never knew this was back here. What?
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human.
Is he now?
Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
She just gives
It's been
them
manageable
their
so
normal
far.
attitude.
I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
Give them low one
First, I
too.
try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Oh, how should Paimon put this?
It's awkward. Sounds reasonable enough.
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
Master, how have you
no.
been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Huh, just as expected of Master.
What she means to say is she actually misses you misses the two of you a lot.
I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Aww.
You did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
She does have a point.
Whoa. Her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Yup.
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
Paimon didn't.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share
I
a
thought it would
story
be
about
obvious since she's an
Master's past.
Adeptus.
Oh?
Or Adepti.
Is that a problem, Master?
I don't remember which
I
one is
believe
plural.
this to be a good topic
I
of
think Adeptus
conversation.
is singular.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest.
I wouldn't
In
argue with that.
response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
What was the device?
What kind of device was it?
That's what I asked.
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron.
It was a car?
What was it called again?
Oh, it's a motorcycle.
Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing
Bicyclical?
and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day.
Yes, motorcycle.
Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up. Alas, the one flaw
Sounds
of my
like you
mechanism
punked
lay
him.
in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events.
Wait, you crashed your
Anyway,
motorcycle?
Do go on, Shenhe.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a race without spectators, after all?
Have you been
Time
lonely,
trial?
Master?
Lonely? At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reason for that look upon your face?
You friend.
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth, and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird again. Paimon's just
She
a
has
little
that
bit
illuminated bird.
confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud Retainer?
Why
To
can't
me,
she be both?
They are both, Master.
Exactly.
One is the Master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the Master that I respect and adore.
Well, not both. Like,
One
why
finds oneself
why do you
exalted yet again
describe
with
them
sweet words
like
of
they're
praise and
separate?
flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question the sincerity of your estimations.
She really misses
This
you
is
is what
not
she's trying to say.
that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases.
Why do you use a shoe
Others
for
may
one
critique
action?
or praise as they see fit.
Do you want two
Yet
shoes?
One places little weight in such judgments.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple, and it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Yes, some
Do you
people
have
just
any
have very
empty
sensitive
tables?
egos.
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
Jen was about to go back to work. She is needed.
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
Understandable.
Good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
I'll try my best.
Don't be too harsh on the customers now. As more and more guests begin to trickle in, Paimon takes the opportunity to order a whole array of delicious dishes.
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
Can you eat this kind of food, Cloud Retainer? Is this food to your taste, Cloud Retainer? Let's go with this one. Seems like we're asking the first one, but not acting like, you eat normal food?
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize the next generation of supreme cuisine machines.
Everything's so
It was a yes or no
tasty.
question.
A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
It's time for us to get up.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't go on for much longer.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
We can share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around.
Voice crack. We could share a table. We got open seats. Oh, we still got food. I guess we can't just leave then.
Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so... Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
I don't mind it. I don't mind either, as long as you don't mind our chatter.
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuendai. Granny?
You and I.
Yep. Is there something wrong with that? No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young. Yeah, a lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears.
That's rude to say. She's staring at Cloud Retainer.
Granny, why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
It's not, but
Oh, have we met before?
No.
are you sure?
'Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no
She's an
braised
adeptus.
earthworms on the menu. Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that?
Can't hurt to ask.
Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too. Need any help? Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time.
Oh.
She's always saying things that sound kinda confusing. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning.
What about your parents?
They died young.
Oh, dang.
It's just me and Granny now. Oh, but it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got. Wow, you're really tough for your age, kid.
She's got a lot of pressure on her
You're
for her
too
age,
kind.
too.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Is she actually your grandmother?
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. Wait.
You don't have to
what
force
was
yourself
that
to try and
really
recall something.
Important thing again. Ah, I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me.
Keep
She
going.
told me to come and find her, and that once I'd found her, I would be free.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
Because she has dementia?
Just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again.
What if her memory comes back to her just from being around Cloud
No.
Arcana?
I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But just how many times have I had it? Now that I do not remember.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Does that mean you're possessed?
Oh, no, Paimon.
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Yes, Paimon. She's
Who do you
sure.
take me for? Is one not an adept?
And what?
Am I not an expert?
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Probably Crane.
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now. My younger self.
A younger version of Granny? This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
Paimon, you said that very loud.
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave the situation to me.
Huh?
Are you sure? So, what are your names?
Paimon is Paimon.
It's Paimon.
I'm MC. Paimon's always
Shenyan
Paimon.
is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back?
For what? Were they eating our
We don't
food?
need any payment for this.
We're just curious about your situation. Want to help if we can. No, it wasn't about the
Thank you
food.
so much. You're welcome. But Miss Genshin, what exactly can we do to help out this granny? All we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth.
How are we going to do that?
Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
That's not how dementia works.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
She may get it back for a moment, but
Why,
she's not going to
of
hold on
course
to
I
it.
do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds, and the emerald mountain streams.
Okay, taking that as a no.
Paimon seems very rude today.
Might have an idea. Once
What's your idea?
when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster.
Martial artist heroine.
If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something. A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shinto knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Good call, Paimon.
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want, I'll just get a few different things.
It seems we must
earthworms.
part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler? Oh, you mean Madam Ping!
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Okay.
This price, the food is unbelievable.
Alright.
To your heart's content.
Should we... so difficult. They slip back this way. I guess the street food vendor is just in the way. Should I have teleported closer? I could have. But now that we're already, like, well on our way... Nah. Yeah, I could have teleported over to the waypoint that was over there. Could have saved us a little bit of time. Just a little bit. Alright, around the corner. He's just standing out here. Menacingly.
Huh. It's you two. What brings you here?
Questions?
Xingqiu! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
About someone. You explain the situation to Xingqiu.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure.
That's fine. Anything is helpful and appreciated.
I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Oh?
Nameless heroine?
Why is she nameless?
The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her name.
It's you and I.
All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments.
What's his name? From Inuyasha. It sounds like Sango and...
into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar
I
from
don't
Miss
want to say
Yuendai.
Maharu.
I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Thanks a lot, Xingqiu. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
It's nothing at all.
Yoroku, that's his
Just
name.
something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story, but it was just out of personal curiosity.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Xingqiu, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn,
It's apparently been around for a long
the area
time.
just north of Jueyun Karst, and Qingyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her.
Thanks so much, Xingqiu. You are a huge help.
You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it.
Why?
If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together.
So you want to travel with
It's rare
us?
for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors
Maybe they
that
would have
she
learned her
became
name.
extremely ill. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
We'll be sure
Most
to tell
likely.
you if we manage to uncover the truth.
Especially her name.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar? Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
I wouldn't think so.
They used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them. Like by cultivating the soil or digging canals.
Smart.
So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return. Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for
I don't
now.
think so,
We're
yeah.
just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people.
Possibly.
So sad that she can't recall any of it. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
Thanks. Alright, so meet up with the others where Madame Ping is. It should just be up this way. If we're talking about where Madame Ping normally is. I'm cutting it a little early, aren't I? Yeah, it's been a while since I've walked around Liyue Harbor. Yeah, that's the staircase I'm looking for. See, I don't even need to look at the staircase because I know where Madame Ping always is. When is she not there? Rarely. It's been maybe like one story where maybe she wasn't there exactly. Oh, look, we're still on the stairs.
The tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
A tune?
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, spin crystal.
Straight word, Ping. What has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh,
Personal?
why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor, not unlike the one that you yourself lead?
You want to live here?
It does not require as much as you may think. Still, do you mean that...
That's what I'm thinking.
What are you two talking about?
Moving here?
Nothing save for some trivial matters.
Moving here?
Have you unearthed any useful details?
Possibly.
Has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yuendai have joined up with us again.
Chuyu and you and I soon arrive at the scene. Paimon
Do not
relays
be
everything.
troubled, young lady. Here, have some tea.
Thank you so much.
What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng.
You and I moved
Maybe
closer to the table.
that's my grandpa. I
Maybe.
don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils.
Seems like the stories were on the right track. Should probably pay a visit to the 3 places mentioned in the books.
I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
How's she gonna get there?
Marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature and at peace.
At peace.
So, then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Thank you.
Let's rest here for a while then.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
A secret, eh? Talk over here? Okay, what you got to say?
What's wrong, Shiryu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant, but are you guys all adepti in disguise?
No, just cloud retainer there.
How about that?
Why do you say that?
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Shen Yun call herself an adeptus.
You did not hear wrong.
Must have been a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, we were there.
Xianyun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain to Shiryu here what you really meant by that.
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
I didn't see why she wouldn't just spill it since she already spilled it. You don't sound surprised at all.
Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane. I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So, I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
A pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
I think it's you and I.
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first.
All right.
I'll go get Granny.
Hey, you go get Granny. All right, go to Wangshu Inn. I love the ability to teleport. What? What is the whole anecdote thing? Why are they popping up everywhere? Also, why is Kazuha out here? Thought he was always on Beto's ship. I want to see who else got something to say. Wouldn't it hurt to go around and hear what different characters have to say, right? But I'm not seeing anybody else but the 3 of them. Wait, what is... No. Why is it only the 3 of them that are popping up? Confusing. Okay. Back on track. Wang Shu in. Teleport. You know what's still annoying? The one character that was blocking us has not shown up.
Wang Shu in.
Ringing any bells?
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock.
That's depressing.
I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window. Which room was it again?
Are we gonna run into Xiao?
Let me look.
I'll come with.
Let's let them have their time.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right?
That's what she said.
Huh?
What? There he is.
All of a sudden, you scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
Well, an Adeptus appeared where he's always at.
Human presence and decided to come take a look.
It's you and I.
Here, then there's likely no trouble afoot.
That's not true.
I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form.
You've met her in this form before?
I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang continuous fire mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
An impressive imitation.
Paimon knows her all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it.
But
what happened
so rude.
If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to don her human form.
Oh, do tell.
I believe it was for the purpose of...
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
Back then, at this place,
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall take my leave now. Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
Or wings.
Everyone, I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Illness?
So what Shinjo said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
Was the illness pregnancy?
Don't remember. I'm very sorry.
I can see her considering it
But I can't even
illness.
remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took a great toll on me, and there was no cure for it.
Still the
I was
pregnancy.
confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious.
Never mind.
I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. It was a solemn sight. I remember crying, but I'm not even sure I knew why.
Because you couldn't fly with the
One day,
birds.
I met a traveling merchant.
You were the one bird that was stuck
Upon
behind.
hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills. He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several decades after that.
So the dementia you're suffering from now is actually...
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, if only I wasn't so useless.
Don't talk like that.
You're not useless. You've done so much for me. Watched me grow up. Raised me. How could you say that about yourself?
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a bit frustrated. That's all.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us make haste to the next location.
Next location. Next location. Oh, why don't we go to the area north of Dwayunkars next? There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, Paimon's got it. Let's check out the houses in the area first. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today. At this rate, we'll recover all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time.
Are you sure that it's a thinking cap? Alright, so look for clues among Dwayunkars. Let's start high and float low. Alright, which one should we go to first? 221? 210. This is the closest. Is it safe for us to go over here? This feels like the type of place where we'd get jumped. Oh, we get jumped there all the time. Well, actually, I think there might be a ley line here, and that's why I get jumped. But, yeah, I don't know. We've reached the quest area. Huh, at least it didn't let us fall to our death. What about this place? Any memories?
I don't remember this place at all. I don't think I've ever been here before. Still, I was thinking, this place feels perfect for a game of hide and seek.
Huh? Why a game of hide and seek?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I used to play that game a lot with Shuyu when she was younger.
How much younger?
I don't remember playing it that much. Are you sure about that, Granny? We only played a few times, and we stopped once we realized I was no good at the whole seeking part.
Ah, is that so? Then I must be mistaken.
Not here then. Let's try somewhere else.
All right. How about... let's teleport here and then run along the shore. I don't think we'll have to elevate too much after that. Let's say, why are we standing on something? But I guess standing on this head is okay. Let me get these eggs, and then I'll go. Got them. Okay. Now this away. Pudgy, squidgy, and not edible. No! Don't want to deal. Barry! Come here. Killed them. Guess while I'm here,
Stabilize.
might as well get the goodies. Excuse me. Got them. Also, I'm still not doing pudgy, squidgy, and not edible.
Whoa, why are there so many treasure hoarders here?
Doesn't matter.
It's time to round up some bad guys.
Wait, what happened?
Take this.
Why did the chest pop up? Like, act like we got something done. Now we gotta open up the chest.
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny One Day?
Let me think. I feel like I've been here before, but I don't think I stayed here too long. I might have just rested here briefly before continuing on my way.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of other places we can check.
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought...
Oh, that's why.
Ah, yes. I brought some sweet snacks with me. Go on, take some. You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and strong.
Now that there's sweet snacks, that just...
Thank you. Then Paimon will help herself.
Alright, I guess she's done talking. So let's go up high again and drop down low. He's away. To another little house. Our house is a happy home. We're happy here. What is all this? I feel like there's something you gotta do there. And I'm gonna avoid it. The bird got stuck, so I took advantage of it. Natural selection at play.
Paimon sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
This place, it's...
Familiar.
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu, this is where your father was born.
Ooh.
It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit.
How
I
hot?
had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting a prayer
She don't look
over
pregnant.
and over. I alone
Probably was too much
am
trouble
the
to
source
make her
of
look
my
pregnant.
sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy. It was the first time I'd ever felt such happiness in my life.
That's sad.
Dad?
In a way.
He was my pride and joy. And so are you, Shuyu.
She really kind of said it
so
like she had
much
never been
like
happy
him,
before.
And I love you both so much. But you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
I don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage to come here, to try to remember what I had forgotten. All right, let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
Is there?
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Qingyun Peak.
Oh, yeah.
Yuandai, how fares your health?
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Climb on. I shall carry you to the top.
Is she going bird form?
Such lightness of weight.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind, to free myself of this torment and the burden it places upon others.
Fret not. You have my aid in this endeavor.
Was she saying she want to die and leave her granddaughter behind? That's kind of what it sounded like. She may be thinking, oh, I'm just a burden. Just like, you're kind of her only living relative, too. You know what? Interesting that this is the familiar spot. Because look how far we are from Cloud Retainer's home. I could get that chest right now. But I don't want to. Whoa, no, not an updraft. Now we just took some damage. That's why I didn't want the updraft.
Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny Wendy?
Let me see.
Look at Mount Aosong, home of the Cloud Retainer.
Strange. Have I lived here before?
I think you may have. Take your time.
When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
Wow.
But did the stories get it wrong then?
We can't expect them to get everything right.
Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of.
Yeah, that's
Paimon was hoping
true.
this place would jog Granny Yuendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Cloud Retainer's home.
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Aosong? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Aosong. Mount Aosong.
The familiarity is setting in.
Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Aosong, What am I really?
Mount Aosong holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but
She don't know why.
Go back.
Are you feeling unwell?
My head. It feels all heavy and dizzy. What is wrong with me?
Cloud, Miss Yenyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
But...
Fret not, all will be well.
The answer lies there.
You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsong.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
Yesterday, probably.
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Oh, look. We have a draft. Riding wind currents through windy rings. How pleasant. Hey, we didn't take any damage. Sweet. I was worried about the damage. And touchdown. We're here.
Come on, just tell Paimon already. What's this thing you've prepared?
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh, is it another invention of yours?
Of course it is.
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium mechanism.
Huh?
It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state.
Are we going to enter her mind while
Soothing
she's hypnotic?
agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia. Its potential uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved time on a lot of floating.
How preposterous. Had you and I not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of assistance.
Understandable.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
Of course, there has to be a meal involved.
And you and I, is the mechanism helping you to relax?
Yup.
It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
Maybe she lost a lot in the drought.
It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never.
No, she wasn't an Adeptus.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny!
I think about it.
Granny, are you okay?
Wasn't Shuyun in the last lantern, right?
Retainer.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name?
Yes.
Does that mean you already knew each other?
Yeah.
Yes. I now remember everything. Everything.
Granny,
Everything.
please don't cry. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions. Perhaps one should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
Oh, so you know.
It's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen.
Go for it.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I love you more than anything. Nothing you say can change that.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for this reason that you deserve to know the truth. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an Adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by. Until that fateful day 50 years ago.
50 years ago?
During the drought that struck Liu.
That's right.
Why did I blank on the name?
Master regaled me with many stories of her past
I didn't
deeds.
even say it right.
From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past. She was the one I looked up to the most.
Liu Wei.
More than
Liu Wei?
anything,
Liu Wei?
I dreamt of becoming an
Liu Wei.
Adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was still far from being a real Adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast,
nor Adeptus.
So what is you?
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
It was Cloud Retainer's fault. But he never turned back into a crane.
Was it because of Grandpa?
No, it's because of your father, probably.
I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well.
Ah, you resonated.
Clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side, so I
Stuck around.
Oh no. What happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again.
That's why the nameless heroine hid herself away.
But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time. If it weren't for those soul-revitalizing tea pills, I probably would have...
You now realize?
Granny, what's wrong?
It was Cloud Retainer.
Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an Adeptus? No, it couldn't be.
It was Cloud Retainer, or someone like Cloud
Don't tell
Retainer's
me.
son.
Back then, that merchant was actually...
It was her.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself. You knew where I was all along.
Probably could have avoided all
One
this if you
still
just went
remembers
home
when you were but a fledgling.
and then said, could I
Possessed a
stay
certain
there
fondness for
with
a
him?
particular game. You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Wait.
Aw.
Paimon's confused.
About what?
So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Go for it. Whenever the loading is done. Oh! We play as her for the story? Okay.
One was furious upon receiving your letter.
What?
Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Really? Wait. This isn't how the mountain used to be, right? Wang Shuin. Why is that all lit up? Probably gonna jump forward, right?
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking.
So?
One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies. Glaring though they may have
Not like
been,
she said efficiencies.
wishing
One is
to grant you a
deficiencies.
life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn.
Fake mustache.
As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition.
Wasn't her memory already affected by that
One
point?
was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
That was what her conclusion was. Oh, so we don't actually go to the inn. We just look at it from afar, and that's as far as the inn goes. Wait, was she also following in the fog? Wanted to see her disciple's child be born? Hey, Lightbridge. That didn't work out. If I knew how to use her, I could have done that better. Yeah.
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable.
Oh, yay.
Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night.
Ow. Stupid slime. Don't hit me in the back. You just keep dive bombing.
Make way for the Adeptus!
Her means of attack is kind of slow. It works, but yeah, it's kind of slow. Yay, done.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end,
Sounds like she's bragging
one
now.
was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy. To see you happy, that was more than enough.
Aww. You were like a grandmother at that point, in a way. I guess you could kind of say a grandmaster. Let's continue on with the story.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Never mind, the story's kind of done.
But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
But you're going to recount it? Raw meat. Into Liyue Harbor. Right? Yeah, that's the Adventurers Guild. There's Chef Mao's place. They live right across the street?
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuandai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognized the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one.
What do you mean? Their grandmother and granddaughter. What do you mean fate brought you together in more ways than one? They're relatives. One's the other's
Now
offspring.
All has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin restaurant.
You just played it like you didn't know.
One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience. Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free.
Get it? Nest because they're
Yet,
birds.
when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven.
Nest is yours.
Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. One rather hopes you count yourself among them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits.
You saying she's gonna die?
If your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own effort.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Is there no other way?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny. I'll do whatever you say.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound?
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
In one way, we shouldn't die.
Let her be. At her age,
Another way.
dying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event.
True.
Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
That seemed dusty. Is it a dream, or did she... Was she able to come back that quickly? Seems like a dream.
I always believed we would see each other again. That our days of separation would finally end. And all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious.
Longing.
If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit.
Would have never
You are
guessed.
doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
He might be older than you, though. Based on Zhongli's age, probably not.
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
That seems about right. Yeah.
Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now?
Yes. Very much so.
Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Adeptus?
Oh, Shuyu, you're awake.
I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus, could I ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean, Master.
Chuyu, are you sure about this?
What you gonna, Paimon?
Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like Genshin and violet grass.
This is how you're dissuading her?
Join them, you'll never enjoy Wanmin Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Jeez,
Although
Paimon.
Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount Outsong?
Is that why you took on this human form?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuendai, they all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted. One
I don't think that's what it is.
is curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. Why are you all so silent?
Being really hard on yourself.
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea.
Cool.
One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspensus somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer!
Another thing for the inventory.
Shincho that we tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you.
Yeah, why not? Could I do it now, or do I gotta wait 2 days? Let's teleport. Alright. Maybe I shouldn't have gone to this one. I'll at least go to the Commerce Guild first. And then if he's not there, then we'll skip ahead 2 days, and then maybe we'll talk to him then. Is it trying to say that it would take 2 days to travel all the way back to Liyue Harbor? Story-wise, it would take 2 days. Well, he's right here, so I guess we could just tell him, right?
We meet again, dear friends. How did everything go?
Well, I guess this is just optional, right?
And it's all thanks to you.
You quickly go over the whole story with Xingqiu.
Ah, I see. So the stories didn't get it right after all. Even though she was a celebrated heroine, she had to bear a heavy burden that most could not hope to understand. Thank goodness for the help of that Adeptus. At least she was able to recover what she had lost. Although I cannot claim to know exactly how their story will unfold from here, I trust the ending will be a happy one. Those united in a common purpose always find a way back to each other in the end. Thank you for helping me fill in the gaps. And don't worry, I'll keep this all to myself. It's not my story to tell, after all.
Alright, now we can wait for 2 days later. Except we're not waiting. 1, 2, the day after tomorrow. Didn't say a specific time, although there may be. Let's just see what happens when time runs down. There we go. Is this acceptable, or do we need a certain time?
I can't wait to see my adorable daughter again.
And go see her! Well, I guess technically it is like midnight. Kind of is for me too, actually. Alright, east way. Wait, are we okay, I was about to say, are we gonna be living in their old house? But maybe not?
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded.
Oh gosh, she's already caused trouble.
Collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life.
Yikes.
I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Clow. Miss Shenyan, what are you guys arguing about?
First off,
Perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Several hundred years?
supposed to be keeping there in Adeptus under wraps.
They're family heirlooms, you see, passed down over many generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep,
Nice save.
been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment, I've hired an expert to appraise them for me. He should be here shortly.
It's the Zhongli.
Expert, you say?
It's Zhongli.
Very well. I will wait for a little while longer, then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Okay.
Master! Oh, it's you two again.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Shoo-you! You got a new outfit! It looks great on you.
Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too.
Huh?
Aww.
You know how to make clothes?
You're surprised by that?
Do I know how to make clothes?
All the stuff she
With the
makes?
support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could not look yet, Master.
She got a gift in there?
Great.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child. Now, this expert you mentioned. When can we expect their arrival?
Any minute.
Soon. Ah, there he is.
It's definitely Zhongli.
Here, allow me to make some introductions.
Yep.
This is Mr. Zhongli, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques. Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Shenyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Huh.
He's at a loss for words.
If it isn't Miss Shenyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhongli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Mm-hmm. From long, long ago.
How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Shenyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost in that regard.
Why, you flatter me, Miss Shenyun. It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
Not at all, Mr. Zhongli. Not at all.
Can we end the awkward farce?
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
They didn't know that they were going to run into each
A
other.
preposterous accusation.
Calm down.
The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Calm down.
Miss Shenyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Holy crap, calm
Say
down.
no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Shenyun, wait! I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here.
Name them.
You could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I
would think he's being scammed if I knew nothing about what was going on
in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Shenyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house. Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
That was all awkward.
Zhongli!
Every last bit of it.
My friends, have you been doing well?
We've been great. How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
I did.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Shenyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Shenyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that
Got a
is
point.
true, but...
But...
Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous stays were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city, as well as the people's hard work and ardor.
What's the hubbub?
This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago.
Several centuries?
Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Very possible.
Huh, hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple-layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot.
That is a lot.
One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Thank you so much, Cloud Retainer.
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
She's gonna know.
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhongli.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
I'm so impatient. But I will say this has been very long.
Good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff. Is that true?
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Why would Paimon have not been ahead of them trying to go for food? 1,000 moonlit miles. Quest complete. That came and went very quickly. So in the future, if I came here, would I be able to find them? Unsigned letter. What seems like a book of accounts, a letter can also be found inside. Little you, my dear granddaughter. By the time you read this, Mommy and Daddy will have already left to go on a long journey. Your granny may get a little forgetful sometimes, so try to jot down little reminders for her around the house whenever you can. Mommy and Daddy are counting on you to take care of Granny while we're gone. You might be wondering why Mommy and Daddy have to leave. Well, my dear daughter, in this world, everyone's got something that they just have to do. Your Mommy and Daddy are no different. Did you know? Daddy was actually awfully sick as a child. How sick, you might ask? Well, even the doctor could barely feel Daddy's pulse. It was that weak. But Daddy still managed to grow up. Looking back, there were many times when Daddy thought he might not make it. In the end, though, Daddy pushed through every time. Pretty amazing, if you think about it. Maybe Daddy is just really lucky. Or who knows? Maybe he had some super powerful adeptus looking out for him. Either way, Daddy has always felt like he's received a lot of love from this world. And you know what? Daddy loves this world right back. They told Daddy that this mission would be super dangerous. But both Mommy and Daddy decided to sign up. You'll have grown up quite a bit taller the next time Mommy and Daddy see you again. Maybe you'll be so big by then that Mommy and Daddy won't even recognize you. How about this? Let's use a code. Do you still remember that one phrase Daddy taught you when you were little? That can be our secret code the next time we see each other again. That way, we'll recognize each other no matter what. You remember it, don't you? While the Millith stands guard, evil shall never prevail. So are the parents dead or are they just gone?
Don't be shy. Come inside.
They really moved next to her. They really moved next to her. Oops, I just meant to step away from her. But I guess this works. That's going to be it for this. It won't let me zoom in or out. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, deuces.
So I wrote it in the rhyme. The Reverend Doctor got an 8K, wet working. The roaches get the race spray. My weak rhyme, my body, your best verses on game day. I touch the crowns of self-entitled kings. You leave the heat like LeBron when I melt your idol's vital things. This is Malcolm and Martin, Million Man March in Sparta, mixed with a legion of angels surrounding sons and daughters. Simon Peter with a desert eagle, waving it at Caesar. So if I was you, I probably wouldn't mention me either.